Let's get started. I'm John Reckner with my review of AEW Dark Elevation from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And oh boy, I wonder if Tony Khan is a fan of WCW and ECW because my goodness, there were a couple nostalgia acts that were certainly choices. Let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. So it starts off with Paul White and Eddie Kingston on commentary. They kind of ass off during this first match. Penelope with the Bunny taking on Notorious Mimi. Okay, there was a moonsault off the steps by Penelope that, Eddie kept intentionally trying to comically mispronounce her name for some reason. I like Eddie Kingston. I'm not really sure sometimes what he's saying on commentary because a lot of his stuff does work, but just some stuff's a bit of a misfire. But then again, it is what it is. It's a YouTube show. And Indian Deathlock for the win in a couple minutes. Santana Ortiz took on Adrian Soriano and Matthew Omen. It's for you, Damien. It's all for you. Wait, wrong Omen. And they had a guy named Gabriel something or other as their manager. I'm not really familiar with them, but I will say the crowd was at least into it, and that is nice. The crowd popped for enough of these guys, for enough of these matches, and that was nice. Because Philly is a pretty goddamn, big hotbed for professional wrestling. Not just ECW, but going back to the Crockett days and everything. They love professional wrestling. They like more violence and stuff like that, but they are passionate. So Shivani joins commentary here, and we get an inside out in a couple minutes for 3. There we go. Santana Ortiz get a big win, or a quick win, rather. FTR with Wardlow take on Lee Moriarty and LSG. Lee Moriarty, I definitely see why people praise him. Never seen LSG before. He wasn't that bad. Took a good beating. Had a good comeback. Lee Moriarty, guy's like, it's amazing. He's just like freaking like a rubber band. He just, moves around. He's all this. It's insane what he can do because he's just so goddamn quick and athletic, and I see why so many people praise his submission skills. And FTR gave him a lot, but obviously they were going to win. Brainbuster, 1, 2, 3, not bad. And then we get Ty Conti with Anna Jay taking on Danny Moe. Not Mio. It was me, Mio. No, Danny Moe, who has an interesting look. Punkish, love the hair, because of course I'm an expert on hair, but no, it wasn't bad. Ty Conti's matches are pretty formulaic, but she is getting better. And does eventually get the DD Ty 1, 2, 3. And then we get Joey Janela with Kayla Rossi. My goodness. Kayla Rossi certainly has a striking look, and you can tell she's been putting in the work, given a couple of the spots she hit here. And Janela wants a challenge. And Crowbar shows up. Now, I have nothing against Crowbar. When I rewatched last year WCW, I really thought that Crowbar did the best he could, and rest in peace Daphne. Him and Daphne, were in lockstep. They meant a lot to each other, and Crowbar since then has not really, he's been in indie promotions and stuff like that, but I don't know if he's been in a lot of, like, prominent roles. I'm not that familiar. Sorry, I'm not knocking him. It's a shame, really, because he does have talent, but this was definitely for nostalgia. When it's time, it's time. And just when you're working against Janela, who's not all that good anyway, just this wasn't good. Kayla and Janela go to leave, and the Blue Meanie, of all people, shows up because Philly. And this wasn't good. There was a ref distraction. Kayla does hit a nice Hurricanrana. Joey mocks RVD, misses a frog splash. We get a chair in there, and then Joey wins. It was a good idea in theory, I guess, to give, Crowbar a payoff. Have him be, part of the company, even if just for one night. I can't imagine this would be even a semi-regular return. Same with the Blue Meanie. But this was sloppy. This was really sloppy, and it made me sad. And then here's Sunny Kiss, and then Kayla lays him out, and hits a twisting splash off the top, like a corkscrew variation. Very impressive. For somebody that tall with that much mass, and I'm talking like as good a shape as she's in, that's impressive. She is definitely putting in the work. Now, was it crisp? Well, she didn't hurt Sunny, but sure, it's going to need some work, but to get up in front of a crowd that big and do that kind of move, props to her. So, Emi Sakura with Lulu Pencil. Are they just changing Lulu's last name? Like, to just fit certain inanimate objects? I don't get it. She took on Destination, Ruby, 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 Soho. The crowd cheered Ruby. Care not for Emi, even though she's not bad. And Ruby wins with the Soho kick, or whatever the fuck they're calling it. 1, 2, 3. Crowbar and Blue Meanie talk, and it was strange that they were there, but you know what? They seemed emotional. They seemed grateful. That was fine. And then we get the Butcher, the Blade, and Private Party with the Bunny taking on Lee Johnson, Brock Anderson, and Wheeler Yuta and Chuck Taylor along with Chris Statlander. I mean, it's fine. Or the melee at the end, we get a splash, he gets broken up, and a big lariat from the Butcher to Lee, and that was it. That's really it right there. There isn't a lot of meat to these matches. There isn't a lot of meat to these shows anymore. I really think they just need to keep the shows like this. Same with Dark. Keep Dark at maybe an hour. Elevation at about an hour at the most. And you're going to have digestible content where you feature enough people and get some indie talents a good payoff. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rentlin. I'll see you soon.